Okay, so here's the answer. After I couldn't get this thing started on ether on the pull start as I had the previous day, and after pulling on it a bunch of times and trying all different things, I was like, okay, I need to step back, I need to gather some information. So, when it was running very smooth. No knocking, no smoking or anything, so I incorrectly assumed that it couldn't be compression, and I went ahead and I was checking spark. I put a new spark plug in it. I had my spark tester in there. It was sparking great, even on the electric start and on the pull start. So I was like, well, shit. Because I have had the situation before where just putting a battery in line with the system somehow arrests the spark. I forget what was the exact cause, but I had to pull start this machine forever because putting a battery in arrested the spark somehow. And I thought that's what was going on with this one. That wasn't what was going on. So after I confirmed spark, and I knew there was plenty of fuel getting in there because I was spraying all kinds of ether in there. Even if I messed with the carburetor, the ether should have started it. So I confirmed fuel. I was like, well, it's got to be compression. So I put a compression gauge on it. I was only getting 60 psi. 60 is way too low to start a motor like this. So I was like, all right, something is going on. However, yesterday it was running great. No smoke, no knock, nothing like that. So I think it's unlikely that it's going to be rings. However, I did that test anyway where I put a little bit of oil into the combustion chamber, redid the compression check. It did not appreciably rise, indicating to me upper end, either head gasket or valves. The valves are an easy one to check. I opened up the valves and I found that the intake valve was way, way, way too tight, and it was preventing the intake valve from closing all the way, so all the compression was leaking back into the carburetor and not making enough compression. Now, it is my hypothesis that the reason that it was able to start on the pull start initially was because when you pull start it, you make just a little bit more compression, and I think that was just the getting over the hump that it needed to get in order to close that valve all the way through the inertia of the whole valve train to finally close that valve, make compression, and fire the motor. And once the motor got going, it was able to close it all the way, but it was just at that threshold. And by me running around, it might have tightened up a little bit or whatever. And so the next day when the bike was cold, definitely wasn't going to be happening. So I loosened up that valve up a little bit, got it back to specs. Now it runs fantastic. So congratulations to the winner. I'm going to post the winner's names in the comments section. If your name's down there, go ahead and send me a PM with your address, and I'll send you out some really cool automotive emblems. In the meantime, let's take this thing out and have some fun.